Hello and welcome to Fast and Factual on Firstpost, where we get you the 50 top stories from around the world. I'm Alison LaGrange, live from Durban, South Africa. Let's begin. In our top stories, the United Nations Security Council has voted in favor of a ceasefire in Gaza. The UN body backed the proposal presented by US President Joe Biden and has called on Israel and Hamas to implement it without delay. 14 out of 15 UNSC members voted in favor of Biden's three-phase ceasefire plan, while Russia abstained from the vote. U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken is on his 8th visit to West Asia. The top U.S. diplomat urged West Asian leaders to press Hamas to agree on a ceasefire proposal. Blinken also met Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu and spoke to Defense Minister Yoav Gallant. He earlier was in talks in Cairo with Egyptian President al-Sisi. The Israeli army has released a video showing airstrikes on Hamas targets in Gaza. The Israeli Defense Forces have said that they struck Hamas terrorist infrastructure. The recent video comes amid Israel's large assault in central Gaza. Israel has released a video of the hostage rescue operation in Gaza. The video shows Israeli forces raiding a house where hostages were held captive. Israel had rescued 4 hostages alive on the 8th of June during its assault in a refugee camp. Now, Israel reportedly struck a convoy of tankers in northeastern Lebanon, killing 3 Hezbollah members. Israeli army also released a video showing an alleged interception of a suspicious aerial target from Lebanon into its Golan Heights. And amid a war with Hamas, Israeli parliament voted to revive a controversial law to conscript ultra-Orthodox religious students into the military. Israel's ultra-Orthodox Jews have traditionally resisted serving in the armed forces. Now, Yemen's Houthis claim to have arrested an alleged American-Israeli spy network. The claim follows detention of several United Nations personnel in Yemen. According to the Houthis, the network included former U.S. Embassy staff, and it gathered information on Yemen's security, military, economic, and political affairs. The South Korean troops fired warning shots after North Korean soldiers crossed the border this week. This comes amid simmering tensions between the two nations. Pyongyang has resumed sending trash-carrying balloons to Seoul, while South Korea started loudspeakers broadcasting directed at North Korea. Now, 4 American educators were injured in a stabbing attack in the Jilin city of China. They were stabbed with a knife in a city park yesterday. The victims include brother of Iowa Representative Adam Zabner. The educators were in China to visit a partner university. Netherlands claimed that its warship was harassed by Chinese military aircraft in the East China Sea. It is the latest country to accuse Beijing's forces of creating potentially unsafe situations on international waters. Dutch Defense Ministry said that its frigate, the HNL-MS Trump, was circled by 2 Chinese fighter jets several times. The Dutch warship was patrolling the area to enforce maritime sanctions against North Korea. Malawi's Vice President Saulos Chilima, along with 9 others, died in a plane crash. The wreckage of the military plane was found in mountainous area of the country. President Lazarus Chakwera said there were no survivors of the crash. The Justice Department of Peru has extended the pretrial detention of former President Pedro Castillo by 14 months. The former president is charged with rebellion, abuse of authority, and disrupting the peace. He was ousted from office and arrested after he attempted to dissolve the Parliament of Peru in late 2022. The move triggered months of protests that hampered the key mining sector of the country. The Baltimore shipping lane, which was blocked for 2 months, has fully reopened. The lane was blocked after a ship collided with a major bridge in March. The channel was restored to its original dimensions by removing 50,000 tons of debris from the Patapsco River, and the riverbed has now been certified as safe for transit. In New Delhi, National Democratic Alliance ministers take charge of their duties after the allocation of portfolios. The portfolios were distributed yesterday evening, a day after the Prime Minister took oath with 71 ministers. Prime Minister Modi is heading a coalition government in his 3rd term. As Minister of External Affairs, S.J. Shankar assumes his official duty, he made some significant remarks on issues with China and Pakistan. Jaishankar said that the Prime Minister Modi-led NDA government will focus on finding solutions to border issues with China, and the government will also focus on years-old cross-border terrorism with Pakistan. And in climate news now, drought in northern Mexico is pushing the country's reservoirs to the brink. The depleting water levels are also threatening agriculture and livestock. Some farmers have been forced to sell their cows due to water scarcity and pasture availability. The Australian authorities are using artificial intelligence to detect forest fires. Along with AI, surveillance cameras are being used in South Tasmania to monitor the forest. As soon as the officials detect a sign of fire, they immediately send out an alert. The AI software was trained to understand the difference between what is a fire and what is not. Now, Greece is all set to experience the season's first heat wave from today. A 3-day heat wave has been predicted to bake the nation. Temperatures are expected to exceed 40 degrees Celsius. And authorities have also issued a warning of a high wildfire risk. India has been hit by the longest ever heat wave of 24 days this year. Weather experts say people will continue to face increasingly oppressive temperatures. If preventative measures are not taken, then the heat waves will be more frequent, durable, and intense. Now, according to a university in Singapore, air pollution has been linked to the premature deaths of 135 million people. This data is from 1980 to 2020. The study found that people were dying younger than the average life expectancy. Weather patterns increased the deaths by 14%, according to the study. Now, on to business and tech news. Apple unveiled several artificial intelligence-powered products at its annual developer conference yesterday. The firm announced plans to add OpenAI's chatbot, ChatGPT, into all of its devices. The iPhone maker also launched its own AI initiative called Apple Intelligence. Now, this technology aims to enhance Apple's products, spanning from the iPhone and Mac. A new version of the voice assistant Siri has been introduced. The AI-powered Siri can now write emails and adjust its voice tone depending on occasions. Meanwhile, the American billionaire Elon Musk has lashed out at Apple. Musk says he'll ban iPhones at his firms if ChatGPT is added to its operating system. He called Apple's plan a security violation and alleged that ChatGPT maker OpenAI is selling users' data. Musk owns electric car giant Tesla, spacecraft firm SpaceX, and social media platform X, among others. He said visitors to his companies would have to leave their iPhones at the door. Social media giant Meta says it will start using user content from the European Union to train its artificial intelligence models. Meta will use publicly shared content on its platforms like Instagram and Facebook. The firm says users will be notified if their data is used in AI training. So far, Meta has not used content from EU users for AI development, and this is due to the bloc's rules that require users to be informed about how their data is being used. US chipmaker Intel is reportedly halting its plans for a new factory in Israel. The $25 billion factory was announced last year. Israel's government has allocated a $3.2 billion grant for Intel to build the factory. However, Intel now says that it is, quote-unquote, adapting to changing timelines. American information technology firm Cognizant is acquiring design and software firm Vulcan. The deal has been estimated at $1.3 billion. Ohio-based Vulcan provides services like design, software, manufacturing, and engineering. Some of its clients include Boeing, General Motors, and Rolls-Royce. The acquisition is expected to strengthen Cognizant's market position in the IT sector. Ride-hailing giant Uber has lost a case challenging a California state law. The law requires ride-hailing firms to treat their drivers as employees rather than independent contractors. Uber has accused the law of singling out the transportation sector. However, a court in San Francisco has upheld the law. Uber says the ruling will not change its relationship with drivers. A U.S. Senate committee is expanding its probe against German carmaker BMW. The panel has asked BMW to provide more details about its supply chain. Last month, a Senate report found that BMW and some other car makers imported car parts from a banned Chinese supplier. The Chinese supplier has been banned by the U.S. for using forced labor in its production. An Italian unit of the French luxury firm LVMH has been placed under court administration. It has been accused of employing a Chinese contractor, which allegedly mistreats workers. The unit makes handbags for the Dior brand. Last month, similar actions were taken against the Armani group. Recently, Italy has been cracking down on fashion brands that use forced labor in their supply chains. American investment firm Elliott Investment Management has called for leadership changes at Southwest Airlines. This is after the investment firm revealed that it has bought an 11% stake in Southwest Airlines. Elliott says the carrier needs fresh perspective to compete in the industry. Southwest Airlines has been facing a slowdown. The airline expects its revenue growth to decline in the next quarter. And the Indian stock market opened flat after hitting a record high yesterday. Both the Sensex and Nifty were trading with marginal gains in the afternoon. Sensex is trading above the 76,600 mark, while the Nifty is at 23,200 level. This comes as the Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi allocated ministries for his third term. Nirmala Sitharaman is returning as the finance minister. And moving to sports news now. In cricket, South Africa defeated Bangladesh by 4 runs in a T20 World Cup match. Bangladesh failed to chase South Africa's 113-run target. South Africa's Heinrich Klaasen scored 46 off 44 balls, and he was also the player of the match. Wasim Akram went all criticizing Pakistan's performance in the ongoing T20 Cricket World Cup. He took to social media and called for the need of radical changes in the team. Akram suggested bringing in a new team with 6 to 7 players. He ended his message by saying that Pakistan doesn't deserve to go into the Super 8s. 3 Valencia fans have been sentenced to 8 months of jail time. They have been accused of hate crimes against Real Madrid player Vinicius Jr. They have also been banned from entering football stadiums for 2 years. This is the first conviction for racist insults in a football stadium in Spain. The incident happened in May of last year when racist slurs were hurled at Vinicius during a match. Benin defeated Nigeria in the 2026 FIFA World Cup qualifiers. Benin handed a 2-1 defeat to Nigeria. Jodel Dosso and Steve Moni scored 1 goal each for the team, denting Nigeria's World Cup qualifying campaign. And Netherlands midfielder Frankie de Jong has been ruled out of the Euro 2024 tournament. This happened after he failed to recover from an ankle injury. The Dutch Football Association stated that he won't be able to play at this level for the next 3 weeks. The Chilean and Paraguayan national teams are gearing up for their friendly match in the run-up to the Copa America. The match is set to take place on the 11th of June at the Estadio Nacional in Santiago. Copa America will kick off on the 20th of June and will be hosted in the United States. And Italian tennis player Jannik Sinner has replaced Novak Djokovic as #1 in men's singles tennis. At 22, Sinner became the first Italian to achieve this feat. He now looks forward to winning the Wimbledon Championship. According to reports, Dan Hurley has turned down a $70 million offer to coach American basketball team Los Angeles Lakers. Hurley said he is humbled by this entire experience. He has decided to stay with the UConn men's basketball team as their coach. And British sprinter Charlie Dobson took 400 metres silver in the European Athletics Championship final, gaining his first major individual medal at the championships, while his teammate Amali Chaudhry won pole vault bronze in Rome. Dobson clocked a blistering 44.38 seconds to set a personal best in the final. But Belgium's Alexander Doom triumphed with a record 44.15 seconds. Lando Norris has blamed his team McLaren for losing the Canadian Grand Prix. The British driver took second place in the Canadian Grand Prix on Sunday. Norris says he would have won if his team had made a quicker pit stop call. Red Bull's Max Verstappen won the Canadian Grand Prix. And in entertainment news, the nominations for the 40th Annual Television Critics Awards are out. Shows like Baby Reindeer, The Bear and Ripley have been nominated for Program of the Year, while shows like Girls 5 Eva, Hacks and Abbott Elementary are in the race for Outstanding Achievement in Comedy. Fallout, Mr. and Mrs. Smith and X-Men 97 have been nominated for Outstanding New Program. Season 2 of House of the Dragon will start streaming from the 16th of June. The 8-episode series promises more blood, fire, and power struggles. The show is set 2 centuries before the events of the Game of Thrones. And according to reports, the Lilo and Stitch remake is still on track for a 2024 release. The cast and crew wrapped up the shooting of the live-action film in March. The first look could come out in Disney's D23 Ultimate Fan event. The story is about a lonely human girl who befriends a dog-like alien. According to reports, Sandra Bullock and Nicole Kidman are in talks to reunite for Practical Magic sequel. Bullock and Kidman are also expected to produce the film. The story is of 2 orphan sisters who come from a long line of witches. Actors Olivia Holt and Mason Gooding have been roped in for the film Heart Eyes. It is a horror romantic comedy film, and the shooting will begin in Seattle. The story is about 2 co-workers mistaken by a killer as a couple. And HBO has confirmed the conclusion of Tokyo Vice. The crime series will end after season 2. The show is an adaptation of Jake Adelstein's 2009 book of the same name. The finale season released on the 4th of April. Game of Thrones actor Emilia Clarke feared getting fired from the show due to her brain injuries. She thought the makers would think that it is not capable of working anymore, and Clarke also feared that she might have another aneurysm due to work stress. Now, the star of the HBO fantasy drama suffered 2 aneurysms in 2011 and 2013. And supermodel Naomi Campbell revealed that she welcomed her 2 children through surrogacy. She said in an interview that she is happy being a single mother. Campbell says that her children are everything for her, and she welcomed her daughter in 2021 and her son in 2023. And Naomi Watts and Billy Crudup renewed their wedding vows in Mexico. They tied the knot in New York City last year. According to reports, they wanted to celebrate with people who couldn't attend their New York City nuptials. Now, rapper Tory Lanez's wife has filed for a divorce amid the rapper's 10-year prison sentence. She has also asked for the legal custody of their 7-year-old son. Lanez's wife has cited irreconcilable differences as the reason. Rapper Tory Lanez is serving a 10-year prison sentence for shooting Megan Thee Stallion in 2020. And that's it on today's episode of Fast and Factual. Thank you for watching. Stay tuned to First Post.